let's hit the field.
It is Tuesday, July 8th, and the Yankees were back under the lights in the Bronx to take on the Seattle Mariners. Will Warren was on the mound trying to give the Yankees 2 straight wins. Is that even possible? Has that ever happened in Major League history? Can a team actually win 2 games in a row? Plus, there might be a trade brewing, and the plug has been pulled on the machine. My recap, your reactions coming up next. This is Pinstripe Territory.
Just wanted to talk, that's all.
All right. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back. Yes, indeed. That is 2 wins in a row. One more, and we got a winning streak. 10-3, as we like to say on this channel. A good old-fashioned, passionate ass-whooping handed out by the New York Yankees. Fantastic start by Will Warren tonight. Fantastic start. 5 2/3 shutout innings. Really bounced back after a tough outing. Showing resilience. We'll talk more about that. Big 3-run home run from Big G, Giancarlo Stanton, who, could he be Nuclear Stanton? He also hit a line drive. You know, that fusion reactor is getting ready to put out some voltage, I think. Austin Wells went deep again. He's been feeling better. He's been hitting for more pop. Goldschmidt beginning to heat up. He went 3 for 4 with a couple of ribbies. Got the average back up to 290, so beginning to dial it back in. Judge went deep to creep up on Cal Raleigh, but then Cal Raleigh went deep on his own. He's got 36. Judge now has 34. And it's weird to see Judge trailing somebody in home runs this late in the season, but I think ultimately Judge will pass him. I can't see Cal Raleigh hitting 60 home runs, but Judge, we know, can do that because he's done it. And the Yankees win 2 in a row. We got a comment here from Brian Bashman who says Stanton's nuclear reactor is beginning to heat up. All right. I can't believe the Yankees won 2 in a row. I never thought we'd get to say those words again after the last week or 2 or 3 or 4. Things were getting dark. They still got a lot of work to do, but, you know, you win tomorrow, you get the Will Ferrell winning streak sound effect. But there's a lot going on in the Yankees universe right now. We're going to talk about all of it tonight, so I want to briefly cover what we're going to go over in this podcast, and then we'll get to the recap and the score and all that stuff. So, number one, it appears that the Yankees have finally, and this is long past time, finally pulled the plug on the Jazz Chisholm playing third, DJ LeMahieu playing second experiment. DJ didn't sound happy about it. I don't blame him. But you know what? This is a performance-based business, okay? And his performance has not been good on either side of the ball. And I have a strong suspicion that the Yankees are working on a deal to bring in a third baseman, possibly some bullpen help. They called up Clayton Beeter. Mark Leiter is on the injured list. And Everson Pereira and Brian De La Cruz out of the lineup at AAA tonight. I haven't seen if there's been a reason released why, but they were both late scratches. Sometimes that happens before a trade. Also, Cam Schlittler will make his Yankees and Major League debut tomorrow. And I'm really looking forward to that. He is good, and I think he's going to do well for the Yankees. So we'll get to that. But first, let's get to the recap.
All right, let's go. Let's get it going.
So Dominguez back in the leadoff spot tonight. He had a tough at-bat. Now, he went 0 for 5, so not his best game, obviously. But first at-bat, 10 pitches. I mean, there's a couple of reasons why I really like him in the leadoff spot. He has patience, so he takes pitches. But he's also got the power to punish pitchers if they throw a cookie, like a get-me-over fastball. He'll take you deep. He's got the power. He hit a leadoff home run the other day. Tough night tonight, but I think they're trying to ease him into that role, and would not shock me if we see him back in there more over the course of this homestand. Oswald Peraza was at third base tonight. And his opportunity could not be clearer right now. If the Yankees aren't, in fact, working on a trade for a third baseman, he's going to have a chance to play. And tonight he was 1 for 4. The one hit was kind of like an infield, nothing bloop hit, but it did get the Yankees on the board. He got an RBI, but hitting just 157 with a 487 OPS. His OPS is like 800 points lower than Judge's. Isn't that amazing? That's crazy. Anyway, it's almost lower than Judge's on base, I bet. Anyway, both teams were scoreless into the fifth inning. Really nice play on defense by Peraza on a pop-up. 35-minute rain delay, and then when play resumed, it was obvious to me that Gilbert just didn't have it. And sometimes that happens to pitchers when you sit for a while. You just kind of stiffen up. He just didn't look as crisp. The command wasn't as sharp after the delay. And, he had some trouble. Yankees took advantage of it. We got some super chats here. D's channel says, finally got to 50 wins. How long did that take? Well, it took 91 games. And then Brian Bashman says, we lost Holy Schmidt, but we got Holy Schlitt. I like that. That's pretty good. And then 27 says, I'll take tonight's 8 and 9 for that defense every day. So Yankees did get on the board. We had a base hit by Goldie, walk to Wells, and then Peraza got him in with that soft infield single. Warren was done after 5 2/3. Really good innings. We'll talk about him in a minute. Tim Hill piggybacked to get him through the 6th inning. Bottom 6, base hits for Judge and Bellinger. Both of those guys had good nights, but not as good as Big G.
Home run for Stanton.
Tonight is a
Wrecking machine.
The ultimate male versus the ultimate meatball.
3-run opposite field home run, second dinger of the year. And that's how you know he's starting to feel good, when he's driving the ball the other way, when he's hitting line drives back up the middle. He almost took the pitcher's head off tonight, 2 for 4 with 3 ribbies, hitting .241 now, 712 OPS. So numbers beginning to creep back up, and that hopefully gets his confidence going. We need a nuclear Stanton right now. We need him to get hot for about a month. We need him to go crazy for about a month. And of course, the All-Star break will cool him off. But if we can just get him hot for the next, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games, give me 5 good games. Hit home runs in 4 out of the next 5 games, please. And maybe we go to the All-Star break feeling a little bit better about this Yankees team. Chris Thought says, please discuss Volpe. Only one hitless. I'll get there. I mean, I don't know what you want me to say. He's bad. He's in 217 with a 686 OPS. He's clearly not good right now. I don't know what you want me to say. Anyway, that home run from Stanton made it 4-0. I was still not feeling good about it because the Yankees bullpen has been trash and they were not great tonight. Hartley gave up 3 runs, but Goldschmidt hit a big booming double into the right field gap. That was his 20th double of the year. He continues to heat back up. He was 3 for 4. And then Austin Wells maybe heating back up as well. Mustache ride. Complimentary. All expenses paid. And after that, the Yankees just poured it on. Judge hit home run number 34. You had another 2-run base hit for Goldie Knox. And the Yankees win a nail-biter 10-3. Again, the bullpen not great. I thought Efros looked okay. But the Yankees hang on to win their 2nd in a row.
Ball game over. Yankees win. Yankees win. You're a winner.
All right. Brian says that Hartley needs to be driving for Uber by tomorrow. And then we have a comment here about Wells. Izzy says that Wells seems to hit when it's summertime. He was just beginning to hit in early June in that KC series. You remember that? Remember how good he looked? And then he started suffering from that hand injury. He had a tough series against, I think he had a tough series against Boston, and that kind of got him slumping, and he missed some time, and maybe he's now starting to finally feel a little bit better. Homered, I believe, in 3 straight games. So really, really nice job for Austin Wells. But he is not our belt winner tonight. We did have a lot of candidates, obviously. Will Warren was phenomenal. Bellinger continues to play great. Stanton with a 3-run home run. Wells 2-run home run. Judge went deep. Goldschmidt with a big night. Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Nuclear Stanton with his first belt of the year. All right. Big 3-run jack. And look, we need him to get hot and stay hot for a while. I mean, there's just no simpler way to say it. When Big G hits, it makes the whole lineup better. Let's talk about another guy who deserves an honorable mention and that is Will Warren. So scoreless first inning, not the easiest inning for him, but easier than a lot of the first innings he's had recently, and that's been a big problem for him. He typically settles down after the first inning, and that's been a microcosm of one thing that Will Warren has shown us this year, and that is resilience. No matter how bad his first inning is, he seems to settle back in, and no matter how bad his game or his stat line is, he seems to come back out focused and dialed in the next start. Even when he has a bad game, he bounces back, and that is not an easy thing for a young player to do. It means he's got some mental toughness that is not something that everyone has, you know? But tonight, 5 2/3, outstanding innings, 4 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, got the ERA down to 4.70. So he is creeping back in the right direction. You know, they mentioned on the broadcast that the starts, you know, his last start and the start against the Dodgers have really wrecked his ERA. But aside from that, he's been really solid this year. Nice job. All right, so let's talk about DJ being benched. Jazz Chisholm at second base tonight. I'm glad that Boone finally had the guts to make this move, and the Yankees have pulled the plug on the guy they call the machine. And I think that they might be after a third baseman. I'm not saying there's a deal in place, but it wouldn't surprise me if we find out in the next day or two that something has gone down. As I mentioned, Everson Pereira and Brian De La Cruz removed from AAA tonight. And, you know, a lot of times that happens when there's a move about to be made. DJ LeMahieu is still owed $15 million next year because, remember, he signed a 6-year deal, and he's owed $7 million more this year. I can't imagine him playing next year. I can't imagine him being on the roster. A lot of times when guys get towards the end of their contract and they're, you know, not really playing well, the Yankees will just DFA them and eat that contract. We've seen them do it with Josh Donaldson. We saw them do it with Aaron Hicks. They're willing to eat more money on the back end of contracts than they are to, pay up front, right? And give a guy a little bit extra more if it means them signing with the Yankees, right? They don't typically pay for the performance up front, but they'll pay to make a guy go away. I don't get it. I find it frustrating. It boggles my mind sometimes. But anyway, DJ has been relegated to pinch hit duty, a bat off the bench. But, I mean, I get what they're saying, but his bat hasn't been good, right? I mean, he's hitting .266. He's got a .674 OPS. He's got no thump. He can't run. He was known as being a Gold Glove infielder, but he can't play third base anymore. Now you're saying he really can't play second. He's not as mobile, right? I mean, you can really go to a defensive replacement for Jazz at second with DJ because DJ is nowhere near as rangy as Jazz right now, you know? And if they get a third baseman, then Peraza could be your, infield, defense specialist. So I think there is a move coming. It wouldn't surprise me if it's somebody like K. Brian Hayes, and then you mix in like a Bednar. I saw that idea tonight. I could see that being a thing. I'm not sure who it's going to be, but I think the Yankees are shopping for a third baseman, and I'd be surprised if they don't get one soon. But Jazz Chisholm, clearly the better second baseman. The Yankees need improvement both offensively and defensively, so I would suspect there's moves coming. And until that happens, Oswald Peraza is getting his shot. Maybe he'll capitalize, but for a young player, he's got to recognize this is his opportunity. Let's just hope he doesn't put too much pressure on himself. And then Brian says, if DJ is called on to hit for you, you need another job.
Got a lot of fucking balls.
I like that. All right, let's talk about Cam Schlittler. I'm really excited for this one. Very few pitching prospects do I get genuinely excited to see because I think pitching in the major leagues is extremely difficult. And I think that a lot of guys have a tough adjustment, right? I mean, Will Warren, when he first look how good he is now. But when he first came up, he was crushed. I mean, he hit a lot of bats. But Cam Schlittler, I think, is the real deal. I mean, this is a guy who's 6'6", 225 pounds. So he's like a door frame coming at you. Throws 96, 97 miles an hour. He's got 99 strikeouts in 76 2/3 innings. And he can throw strikes. Okay, and he's a smart guy. He's known as a smart pitcher. Now, his ERA is 2.82, but that's because in his last outing at AAA, he got shellacked. He got destroyed. But before that, it was like 2.18 or something like that. He gave up 7 runs, I think, his last time out. And, you're going to have outings like that as a starting pitcher, but for the most part, he has been pitching really, really effectively. And I'm interested to see what he looks like tomorrow. Obviously, losing Clark Schmidt is tough, and you hate to see him gone. But Cam Schlittler, I think, will be a fine replacement. And I don't know if he'll pitch at Schmidt's level, but he will pitch effectively if you give him a chance to settle in. Let's take a few voicemails here. Here we go.
Where did the Yankees get some of these pitches from? The park across the street?
Oh! Yeah, Hartley, not so good tonight.
Oh, man, did the boys need a game like this? Bad. This is awesome. Hopefully they can get a little bit of momentum here. Hopefully they finish it off and be a second straight win. Roll it in tomorrow. I just real impressed as well with Dominguez getting out there in his in the leadoff role tonight. I think it was first at bat he got like 0-2 or 1-2 right away, and then continued to battle for over 10 pitches. I thought it was honestly impressive, even though it was an out. I like starting the game off that way. First batter, 10 pitches deep. That's awesome. So
yeah, and that makes things easier for Aaron Judge too in the 2-hole, right? And you consider that long first inning. You consider that the rain delay. I think we kind of got helped out a little bit against Logan Gilbert, who's a really good pitcher. Gave up 5 runs, but typically he's going to do better than that. Got a call here about an interesting camera shot.
Hey, Derek. Kind of an odd question, but when they were talking about Cal Riley's nickname, the Big Dumper, and saying how his old teammates used to call him that because he had a big butt. I don't know if you saw, but the cameraman was zooming in at his butt at probably for 20 seconds straight. I don't know if you thought that was weird or anything.
I mean, hey, where do you want the cameraman to point it when they're talking about the guy's butt? I mean, what do you want him to do? You call from Hawaii.
Hey, Derek, John from Hawaii. Does it get any better than Cody Bellinger? I mean, up 7. That's the 6th inning or so. Julio Rodriguez just bobbles the ball slightly. Bellinger takes third base. I mean, the guy constantly runs out ground balls. He's never out of the game mentally. I just love this guy. I absolutely love having Cody Bellinger on our team. This one feels good, Derek. Later.
Yeah, he is a ball player. He's a gamer. He's always hustling, always busting it out of the box. I really appreciate him as a player. Hitting now 278. And look, he's got his OPS over 800 now on the year. I'm going to go ahead and share the screen here. He is now, let's see if we can move this a little bit. Hang on. Let me just make it so you can see a little better. 278, 13 home runs, 807 OPS, 335 OPS, 89 hits in 320 at-bats. Having a very, very nice year. Got another call here about Anthony Volpe.
What's up, Derek? Look, I'm not trying to troll. Every time Volpe gets up on base or at bat, I always text my friend, jokingly, inning is over if it's 2 outs, or if, let's say it's 1 out, I'll be like, oh, 2 outs incoming, like he's an automatic out. And I'll say it jokingly because a lot of times when I hate, usually the players prove me wrong, so I'm trying to do the reverse karma, and it's always worked to Volpe. And I texted my friends, once you hear the Fetty Wap song, the inning is over and 0 for 3. It's pretty sad how bad he's playing.
Tough night for Volpe again, and I know I say that a lot. If you had a word cloud of all the sentences I say on this channel, tough night for Volpe would be among the most used phrases that I've had this year. 217 average, 293 on base percentage. He does have 10 home runs, so the power has ticked up again this year. But 10-10 guy at the All-Star break. He might get to 2020. I doubt it. OPS under 700. Just having a bad year. He's just been bad. Just been bad. Here's Willie.
Hey, Derek, it's Willie. I'm rooting for Peraza. He's a nice kid, but he stands too far from the plate. That's why he can't get to no outside pitch. I think if he stood closer to the plate, they'll probably throw him more inside pitches trying to get him off the plate.
I think the reason he stands so far away from the plate is because of his bat path, because he chops down. So you want to have a little bit of distance for that bat to get into the zone a little bit. He's got a lot of problems there with the offense. I mean, his swing is like an unfolded lawn chair, to borrow a line from Bull Durham. Hopefully they get it squared away because the kid can really, really pick it. Final voicemail.
Hey, Derek, it's Fred. Before the deadline, man, the deadline's going to be crazy. There's going to be so much competition for players all over the place. But the thought of Jose Ramirez batting third right behind Judge and then Stanton batting fourth, that is just breathtaking. And I'm willing to give up Lombard, Spencer
I'm going to go ahead and stop you right there.
Don't smoke crack.
Jose Ramirez is not getting traded. Quick word from our sponsor tonight, DraftKings, and then I'll be back with some final comments from the audience on the Yankees' second straight win. Nothing says summer like long days, clutch plays, and firing off a few bets on the game. All with DraftKings Sportsbook. Pick a guy to go yard, hammer some live odds mid-game, or just ride with your squad and hope for the best. DraftKings customers bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code FOUL for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for a gambling problem. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. New customers only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. All right, Brian says that Superman will be in theaters longer than Peraza will be at third base. I agree, and I'm going to see Superman on Monday, so I am mega psyched about that. I love the Superman movies. I have seen all of them, and I'm psyched. BHD Class says, do you still want Spencer Jones traded? Absolutely. Look, he's on a hot streak. He's definitely playing better. Where are we going to put him? Outfield is packed. We have needs on this team, and he's still got a high strikeout rate. I would love if he came up and was the left-handed Aaron Judge, but I'm going to count the 2+ years that I've seen him struggle more than the 2+ weeks that he's played well. So yes, I am sticking by my guns. I think they should move him. I think they should take advantage of his hot streak, and I think they should try and improve the Major League roster. Jack Amir says, Viva Vivas, give him a run. That's an interesting take. I could see him at third base. I thought he looked fine in the few times he had at third base, and I liked his swing. Only problem with Vivas is his helmet was way too small. Way too small. It was always falling off. Brian thinks that Jones will play center field next year. Stephanie wants to know who my favorite Superman is. You know, I like the, I think it's Henry Cavill, is that his name is? The guy who was in the most recent franchise. I thought he was phenomenal, and I was pissed that they moved on. But this new Superman looks really good. And me and my buddy Justin are going on Monday night. We're going to go catch it at the Alamo Draft House, and I'm going to have a nice, delicious movie theater pizza. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for watching one more time.
Ball game over. Yankees win.
Final word goes to Jasmine, who says Volpe's swing needs to be tweaked as well. And I agree with you. I think his swing is too long. I think it's too violent. I think he needs to go back to what he was doing last year. I don't care if he has to sacrifice some exit velocity to get it done. One more quick 30-second piece from me, and then we're saying goodnight. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Come talk baseball with us on ChatBCC at foulterritory.chat. We're hanging with fans, we're answering questions, we're hosting trivia, and running giveaways like 2 free Major League Baseball tickets up to a $400 value and a free MLB jersey of your choice. Got a hot take or a burning question? Drop it in the chat. We might even feature it on the show. It's free to join. Go to foulterritory.chat and come hang. If you made it this far, do us a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and join our community. You can also be a part of the show by calling in at 718-899-1068. Also, part of the way that we maintain and fund all of this is through NYYDesigns.shop. Check it out now. Get all sorts of fun Yankees merch, hats, hoodies, zip-ups, beanies, mugs, you name it. We've got it. Check it out, NYYDesigns.shop. And check out Pinstripe Territory on all your favorite podcast platforms. We are the official Yankees podcast of the Foul Territory Network. We're here for post-game shows after every single game, and we're here before a lot of games to talk about the game, preview the lineup, the pitching matchups, and things like that. And we're here all off-season to talk about the latest in Yankees rumors, news, etc. Join our community. We'll see you next time.